Hi, today we want to answer some questions. People are always asking us about how to plant vegetables that come in these 4-inch cups. One of the big questions everybody asks us is, what is a hill? You know, you'll read, plant a hill of melons, plant a hill of corn. And people wonder if they mean to mound up the dirt like this and plant your plants in the top of it. That isn't what it means. A hill just means a group of plants. This is a hill of watermelon. And so you don't want to mound up your dirt. You want to plant it on the level, or they'll struggle for water because their roots are up above where the water will pool. Second thing people are always asking me is, can you separate these plants? You see, there are 5 plants in this watermelon thing, and being thrifty customers, they want to know if they can separate them and get more out of it. I tell them, only if you want to kill them, because if you try to take them apart, they'll die. They came up together, they want to stay together. You want to keep these plants together. So how do you plant them? Well, the first thing, if you want a bumper crop, you've got to prepare your soil well. Put a bunch of organic matter in there. It's best if you do it fall and spring. If you haven't done it yet, just do it. Put in some like leaf litter, some really old grass clippings, some we have mulches that you can put in there that actually feed the plants that are really, really good, like Nutri-Mulch or Dr. Earth or Organic Alive, any of those things. Put them in the soil. And then, if you want to put some Osmocote underneath the plant, a teaspoon of Osmocote right under there, it'll feed it for like 2 months, and you won't have to even worry about it for a while. That's a great idea. So put it in there in your prepared soil, and then make a nice watering hole around it. If you're not going to use drip irrigation, you know, drip irrigation is really great. Soaker hoses are really great. A furrow along and flood irrigating is really good. Some people like to sprinkle. The only problem with sprinkling is that they don't tend to leave it on long enough to soak down like this far. They turn it off when there's only soaked down this far, and that's not far enough to get the roots good. So what ends up happening is they're sprinkling every other day or so. The plants turn yellow, they get stunted, they aren't thriving. What you've got to do if you're going to sprinkle is leave it on long enough to soak it down like this. Stick something down in there like a stick or something, as far as it'll go down in soft. That's how far you've soaked it up. If you soak it like that, you're okay with sprinkling. Then just wait until the top has dried out about this far, and then you can do it again. That works really well. Well, what about planting tall plants, you know? We've got, this here is a zucchini. Any of these plants, you can plant up to the first 2 leaves on the plant. We've got some real tall, leggy plants on our half-price table. Are they going to do good? Yes, they will. You just plant them up to there. You have good soil. They're just waiting for a chance to get into some good ground, or a place to put their roots down. They're going to do very well too. So plant it up to there. Sometimes you get something that's real tall. Cucumbers always do this. They make a big long stem before their first 2 leaves. Plant it right up to there. One of the big advantages of this is that it keeps them out of the wind. They aren't being whipped by the wind. They won't break off in the wind. And all of this will make some nice roots. So that'll be really good for you. Now, sometimes you might get a cup of plants that has just been sprouted. Sometimes they're even smaller than this. You don't want to lose them. If you went to dump them out, chances are, because their root system isn't well developed, the dirt will just all fall off their roots, and they'll all die because they're too shocked to grow. So this is what you do. You get your hole all ready, then hold onto your cup real firmly, and with scissors cut the bottom out. And then cut up one side so it's split. Don't let go during that time or you'll lose the whole thing. Then take it and plant it cup and all. And what that does is it allows the roots to grow out the bottom. The cup will actually spread apart as these get bigger, and you never shocked it at all. You won't lose your little plants. So that is a really great tip. Some people want to know, how do you plant onions like this? These are so easy to plant. First, you get your row ready by taking it and going along and poke a hole with your finger, just like this, every 2 inches if you want lots of green onions and you're planning on thinning them that way, or little teeny onions for salads, or if you want them all to grow big and nice, Every 4 inches or so is how often you put your holes. Then you just dump it out. And I hope you can see this. You just take one of the onion plants and peel it off. And then you plant it down in the dirt about up to where it starts to turn green. Push the dirt around it. Then you come back. You get another one. You just peel it off carefully. Put it in there, put the dirt around it, and they grow and do fantastic. People are always telling us what great onions they get from doing that. And the one thing I want to remind you is do not forget the root starter. I'm not kidding. They'll keep them from shocking. They'll make them produce so much quicker. They'll do so much better if you remember the root starter. Remember, it's 3½ tablespoons in a gallon. You take your cup, you put it down in, you soak it for a second, bring it out, and then you plant it. So, if you want to fertilize, you can do it like I told you with a teaspoon of Osmocote under the plant. You can side dress down a whole row with 16, 16, 16. You only have to do that every month, so that's a great way, and they do really well on that. Or you can go an organic way. You can use Dr. Earth. You can use Whitney Farms. Both of these are a real good organic fertilizer. You only have to use them every 2 months, so that makes it really, really good. And there are lots of different kinds of organic fertilizers that you can use. All of them are really good, and they make it so that your plants don't have chemicals in them. It's an awesome way to go. So remember all these tips that I've told you about planting these 4-inch vegetables, and you'll have an awesome garden. And I can't wait to see you down at the nursery. If you have more questions, come in and ask.